on what you want to see happen on next month?
I want to see our community come together. Bring the kids out, let them come out and experience, working out with one of the greatest NBA veterans who has an experience that, some of us, we dream of. So come out and check us out. Cane Bay High School, June 3rd and 4th from 1 to 4. Listen, get your kids out, give them an experience of a lifetime. And let them understand the importance not only of just basketball or sports, but character and importance of addressing mental health. That's one thing we always want to emphasize, how important it is to address our mental health when we're playing sports. So hope to see you there. Come out and support us.
Absolutely. We come out support. Again, it's the time we got to support one another. I love y'all. This is Calvin, the Logan Power Show, nationwide, worldwide. We love you. See you soon.
It's the Logan Power Show. Inspirational and motivational. It's the Logan Power Show. Informational to help you grow. Logan Power Show.
And now the host, Calvin Logan.
Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the Logan Power Show. It's me, your host, Calvin Logan, and I know that you all are watching the playoffs. I get involved with who's your team, who you're going to pull through, who's going to make it to the NBA Finals, who is that one team that's going to get over the hump. This is an exciting playoffs for those that like watching the ones that are the undesirables, the ones that are the desirables. But I want to bring it to a better light. A group of people that are making a difference, that's going to have a camp that's going to help some of our youth better know how to structure their game, to have the fundamentals, but also be given light on how to be light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm going to do it in 3 parts, but I want to first start off with the catalyst. Again, she is a renowned coach, strategist. Also, she can teach you and train you on how to get your shot up, how to play some defense, know all the skills and sets. She has a resume, as we all know, Charleston Southern University. She's up there. She got her own little section. But like I said, again, they say she's not Scissor. They call it Coach Sid Champagne. What's going on, Coach?
What's up? What's up? How are you?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Great, can't complain.
Yes, ma'am. Coach, coming back again, y'all coming back again to the Low Country in regards to helping our youth, going back at it, trying to get them to better have a quality of life. It's, work life in basketball, but keeping it spiritual as well. Why is it that you guys are doing this one more time again?
Well, I think that, kids in our area, they desire an experience, we want to show them, especially with me and Jumaine teaming up, the road that they need to take in order to get to that level. When you talk to kids nowadays, you ask them, what is your goal? I want to play in the NBA. I want to play in the WNBA. I want to play in the NFL, but all right, what is your work ethic like? And sometimes they don't have that access to where someone who actually had that vision, had that dream, is able to tell them what their experience was like. They see the glitz and the glam of, oh, I'm on, they're on TV and, they're playing in the league and they're playing against these certain people. But what does it take to get there? There's a path that you need to take. So I think Jumaine, his story and the things that he had to endure to get to that level is very important. And I wanted to kind of share that with the kids in our area because sometimes they don't have access to that.
Making a great point, Coach. A lot of times we don't hear the stories of how you get to that level, and there are levels to this. You are people who have star athletes in high school, but college, may not have made it through. Yeah, star athletes, high school, college, but the pros, I didn't make it. The NBA is a small community. I look at it as people who joined the military. That is a selective group. You think about it through time. Just giving examples, since 1775, probably, as you would say, there's about 330 plus million live in the United States, but less than say 10% serve our country. So I
Right.
look at that as you're a small pocket of people, like I know about myself being a veteran, knowing that, hey, sometimes people say, oh yeah, I'm elite. Well, there's an elite group. You know, you can't say you've gotten this badge of honor. But for you, coach, you have a successful career, high school, phenomenal, college. As you would say, that one step we talked about it previously, for that one step getting to the next level. And you see the stories now, the Caitlin Clarks, you see the Angel Reese, the Juju Watkins, the women are getting their shine now, not how when you had your shine. So in your humble opinion, what is it that for you watching the game, how is it evolved for women? How do you think as a coach, now you've seen the tools, what do you want to impact to women now as a coach from your personal perspective to make them get to that next level? If it's collegiate, have their own story, but also get to the pros.
Well, it's a mindset, first of all. You got to have that mindset. You can have a desire, but your mindset and your heart has to line up with, the goals that you set for yourself. And a lot of times we feel like, oh, I can go practice. When we practice, I can go and work out then. What are you doing when no one is looking? That's the question. Because when you're sitting at home and you're not doing anything, there's another person out there that really wants to be a part of that elite group. So I feel like these kids nowadays, they need to understand the most important thing is work ethic. And if they commit to their work ethic, I think that, the sky is limitless for them to be able to achieve that major accomplishment. So I feel like that's the most important message for girls basketball, because again, competition, it varies from state to state. Competition varies a lot from the environment that they're in. So I think giving them that experience, I think the game has changed a lot where these girls are now, they got trainers, they got personal trainers outside of just, practicing with their team to make themselves better. So it's a major investment that they have to make personally in themselves.
I think you making some great points, coach. I think that's what's going to be happening. Just let the people know, when are the dates for the camp so people can get connected? How can they subscribe? How can they get registered? Because I know our goal is to get as many people as possible to make Pathway. So let people know the dates and the time, where we're going to be at, and how we get connected.
All right, so we will be hosting this camp at Cane Bay High School. It'll be June the 3rd and 4th from 1 to 4 p.m. Again, June 3rd and 4th from 1 to 4 p.m. You can go on www.endureskillsports.com to register. Also, you can go on our social media links. I'm on EndurSkillz_basketball on Instagram and Endure Skills Basketball on Facebook. You can also go on Cane Bay Boys Basketball on Twitter. You can see the post there too. But come out, register. Again, this is an experience that, you get to sit down and talk to someone who not only just plays basketball, but he's a human individual. Like, talk to him about life, school, everything, his experience. Because again, it's very important that you understand in order to get there. You got to be able to talk to someone who's more experienced than we are.
Absolutely, coach. Absolutely. Well, again, coach, we're going to have you come back in one brief second. And we thank you again, but we're going to ask some more questions for you in 1 second. So let me do this real fast. I'm going to move this seat. You see it, we're moving quickly to get to our next people that are coming through. So I want you all who are watching me right now to understand that it's a process for this. It's a process for new heights and new levels. So with that being said, I want you all who are watching us definitely subscribe to what they are doing, get involved. If your child wants to be there, we want you to put them in this particular setting. So, coach, we want to get the next one up. All right, without further ado, this man here, without no introduction, is the head varsity coach here at Cane Bay High School 5A, Coach Shawn. What's going on, Coach?
How are you? Good.
Doing great. About yourself, sir?
Good.
All right. Well, Coach, again, great season. You guys came through. You guys came through number one in the region, like you were telling me earlier. Had some tough challenges, you would say, in the playoffs. Like I said, the playoffs is a beast. High school basketball, just like collegiate basketball in the pros. Is either we want to win or go home. And you do have a tough resume, and you have a lot to give to the game. So by you being a coach and being a part of this camp, from your perspective, what is it that you would bring to the table that kids need, you think, in your humble opinion, is going to make them elite to the next level?
I think what we bring at Cane Bay High School and kind of our motto for our program is hard work. You know, it's the same thing that Coach Champagne said, that if they can, establish a great work ethic and work hard, that it will eventually pay off. That's the same motto that we preach to all of our kids, our up and coming kids, all the way from the varsity, JV, and B team level. If they can work hard, not only on the basketball court, but in the classroom, and in life, so that they see that it can pay off, that when they get out there in the community, when basketball stops, that they can, they're going to continue to work hard. When life gets thrown at them, they can work hard and get through that. When the marriage gets tough, when being a parent gets tough, hard work is going to pay off. So that's kind of the thing that we preach to a lot of our kids, and we build our program on.
Absolutely, Coach. And building a program, I know a lot of times people think that certain things are easy, and hey, I can do this. I can take your spot, and I can do just as good as you. And there are levels to coaching, and everyone says I can do just as nearly as anybody else. So, what I want to figure out from yourself, we talk about the destiny and where you want to be and the program you want to create. We know that being a 5A school is not easy, because you are dealing with another type of level. You have 5A, 4A, 3A, 2A, and 1A. And that just pretty much, levels are different, but the opportunities of people joining you is always different. So with the up and coming class that you have coming into the fall, when you look for, like, I guess, a player, what are some things that, in your humble opinion, from a coach's perspective, should they possess that you can say, okay, this is something that I can't teach, but you have to have this mentality, or you need to have this type of character coming in so that I can be a better you. So when I get it, I can mold you, in your humble opinion?
Effort, 100% effort. I mean, people always talk about this person, is a dog, or they got to be a dog, but I don't think they understand what that dog mentality is. Somebody that's going to give me 100% on the court, 94 feet at all times, not just on the offensive end, mainly on the defensive end. Just 100% effort. I mean, kids are going to make mistakes, and those are something that I can fix and that we can fix as a team and as a coaching staff. But if they can give me 100% effort every time they step on that floor, then I can work with them. The ones that don't give me effort are the ones that make, that's also something that we got to work with too, because a lot of kids come to us talented, very talented, and got a lot of potential, but don't understand the effort that they got to put through to be successful, to have our team be successful. So I think it's all about effort and want to, so.
All right, I hear you, Coach. Effort is what we talk about. And 94 feet in the basketball court, you're picking up 90 feet, what we always say on defense, because you want to play it and have, like I said, that mentality. Effort is what's going to keep you there. And you've seen it time and time again, those people who have the effort will make a difference. Coach, we definitely are going to see some great things from you. And we're going to get you in 1 second, and we'll get our last guest on. So without further ado, again, this guest here is a former NBA player from 1999 to 2007. Went to University of Georgia, played small forward and power forward. Has a great testimony. He's the one that this particular camp is under. He has a repertoire of knowledge to give to people. And don't be fooled by what you see on this camera, because I'm gonna tell you all the time. A lot of times I tell a lot of folks, just because you watch television does not mean when you come to these people's face that it's gonna be the same. It'll be a lot taller than what you see. Without further ado, the one and only Mr. Jumaine Jones. What's going on, sir?
Hey, how you doing, man? I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. You have decided to do this camp again, bring it to the low country, giving your knowledge, giving what we would say the tools to get there. And a lot of people are still taking for granted the journey and the process to become where you've had it. Like I mentioned again, like if I was military, not everyone can say I've been a veteran. Not everybody can say I've been an NBA veteran. Because you're coming to tell the kids the truth, what should a parent expect when they hear you tell your journey to the next level?
I mean, I just like to really just give, everything that I experienced and that, I went through to be able to get there because, at a very young age, I knew that I wanted to make the NBA. And one of the things that, the parents have to understand, even as I do my kids now, when they decided they wanted to play volleyball, the first thing I was thinking is like, well, do you really want to play volleyball? So even with my kids, I got two kids that play volleyball. I got my son who plays basketball, but from the very, very beginning of their journey, they told me they wanted to play sports. And the first question I've always asked is how far you want to take it. And of course, most kids, they say at the highest level. So, one of the things I always wanted to let them understand is that, if you want to make it to the highest level, what are you doing to be able to be different than everyone else?
Be different than everyone else. Yes, absolutely want to do so. Want to make a difference there. Since making a difference, piggyback on this, Coach Champagne, we say make a difference. How do you think you can make a difference knowing that you got the backing of an NBA player?
I think that we speak the same language. Our goals are the same. And I think when we talk about teaming up, we have the same vision and the passion. You put with people that are as passionate as you want to invest and give back. And a lot of times the deposits that we make, we're not looking for withdrawal from that, for ourselves. We're just looking to make sure that we apply what we've already experienced and what we know, and we give it to these kids so that they'll be able to make better decisions, because we may not have had the same guidance that they had when making that decision. Jumaine probably, there were people in his life that steered him in the right direction. But when you think about it nowadays, today, some coaches, you got these old ball, we call them the old ball coaches, that teaches you the process of how it took back in the days. But today's generation, we're looking at the television and we have a TV mindset, but we got to have that work ethic to back up the TV mindset.
Absolutely, absolutely. Definitely. I appreciate that. Well, Mr. Jones, talking for yourself, we know for you, you were talking about, how far you want to take it. You have been to, we say, the mountaintop, and your journey is different. The average NBA player is 3 to 4 years after the first contract. Some people can't make the second contract. You've gotten past at least, I got at least a second contract in. When you talk about your son and you meet other kids, You see a lot of kids today say, always show me a highlight tape, show me what you got. I know the jersey I got, but how do you have that conversation with some of the youth today when they for instance, may not have experienced what you've done or seen you in film, like a person like myself who's seen you live and in person? So how do you have those conversations to tell the kid the real truth to get to the next level, in your humble opinion?
Well, the real truth is, and the people laugh at me when I say this, and I think I confuse a lot of people, but I try to break it down as much as I can. When I was coming out, in 1999, I feel like it was easier for me to be able to make the NBA in 1999. Now, because like the only thing that I had to do is be one of the best players in the U.S. You know what I mean? So now so many people coming from different countries that's entering the NBA. So now you got to be one of the best players in the world. So, what does that look like? It's a lot tougher. If you're sitting there and you're watching the draft and you're watching everybody coming from these different countries, I think, you put it in perspective on how much harder you got to work. You could say that you want to be in the NBA. You could say, you want to take it at the highest level, but hard work is just the beginning of it. To be able to put that effort in and the hard work, but you got to surround yourself by the right people. You got to have the right people supporting you. You got to be hanging around the right friends. When I was growing up, coming through school, if you didn't play basketball, I didn't really know who you were. And if you didn't see the same vision I had, far as being successful and playing basketball and want to be able to do something with my life, me and you can't be friends. I didn't have any, we didn't have as many distractions as the kids have now. You got to be focused on, and one of the biggest problems is that, the big difference between me back then, we loved the game of basketball. We would have done it for free because we had that much passion and that much love for it. And it's so different now because a lot of these kids are really loving the game because of what the game can do for them. So that's one of the things I try to get kids to focus on, because I feel like if you really have a passion for something, you're gonna work hard at it. And once you put that work in, and you have a passion for that, you'll never work a day in your life, and that's what makes your job a lot easier. But if you're focusing in on things that's outside of basketball, it's gonna be that much more difficult for you to be a part of a less than 5,000 people that's ever put on an NBA uniform.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And let's bring this up here. Coach Shawn, we understand you just heard the NBA player, former veteran, tell you that it's a process. I'd have done it for free. And you have direct access to him. And even by bringing him into the gym and talking to your players, there's this thing where, well, he's not LeBron. He's not Luka Doncic. He's not Anthony Edwards. He's not Karl Anthony Towns, or he's not Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. He may not be the guy who is the one that everybody is now. But for people who watch, like I watch, like 2001 NBA Finals, I saw him play. I was in the bleeding section when my Lakers played him in game 2. Now, game 1, I had my head down because it was busting my tail. And the thing about with him, if you watch him, that's a dog. Listen, like he's like him now. If you put Jumaine Jones in today's game, he would be like an elite 4, stretch 3, stretch 4, because the way he plays his game, like the way he plays his game then and played now, I guarantee his contract will be a lot longer. He probably would have been in the NBA a lot longer, because during that time, the NBA wasn't sort of like you say, Coach, a stretch 5. You had no 7-footer shooting no 3-point shot. You had no guys in the power forward position. I'm going in the post, and this all I know is power forward. Give me the ball from the block down, block forward up, small forward. This is how far you don't dribble the ball, or coach gonna pull you out. But for you as a coach, how are you able to keep these kids humble and let them know that I got to teach you 1 through 5, but also that it's bigger than basketball, coach?
No, I mean, it just goes back to what he said, and the work and love and passion that they have for the game. I have that with kids now. Some of them like basketball, but they don't love it, and some of them love it, and you can tell because they put the work in. I'm a true example of what Jumaine just said, because I love coaching. It's my passion, and I'm gonna work my butt off. And those are the things that I bring to them. Uh, a lot of the things that they see me do, sweeping the floor, washing clothes, washing uniforms, doing everything, wearing 500 hats, cooking food for them, getting them gear, shoes, everything, bags, everything, and just leading them uh, is what I would bring to tell them, just like Jermaine said, and it is different nowadays versus when he came in, because uh, just how much harder they would have to work. His example is how much harder they would have to work today than before. So that's kind of what I would preach to them, if that makes sense.
Makes sense, coach. Humility starts at home. The Bible talks about humility. And these are the things that, if the coach sweeps the floor, then what's my problem taking out the trash? If the coach is
Yeah.
gonna cook the food, what's the problem? Me saying, well, coach, I'll pick up the plates from the team and putting it there. Those are things we've been taught as coaches, that it's all about humility, and it's always saying to themselves, there's always something that I can show humility for, because there's levels to this. There are levels to coaching. You on a high school 5A. I've never coached 5A. I've done 1A, but people say, "Oh, 5A and 1A the same." No, it's not.
Yeah.
I pray to God it's not.
Yeah.
I've had the opportunity of going against your JV during one time in the summer with AAU ball. That your coach is great, but experiencing yourself, you have a long resume of success, and it takes levels to this. So that's why I want to give you your flowers, coach, and I want you to continue to do what you're doing. And I pray heaven's best to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
it.
No problem. All right, Mr. Jones. Um, big thing that what we want the kids to understand today. You're gonna speak to our kids around June the 3rd, June the 4th. We already know, if you think about South Carolina, there's only been a couple, you would say, elite guys who came out the state of South Carolina. Kevin Garnett, Zion Williamson, John Morant. Nobody has come out of North Charleston that made the NBA. Charleston that I know of. The one that made it to Charleston, made the College of Charleston, he played for the Lakers. Cretan, like I said, but he wasn't in College Charleston, plenty of accolades, fantastic. But we talking about guys who are superstars, who come out of Charleston, South Carolina, North Charleston. When you look at kids now, since you have that, you've seen the promised land. If you see a kid who has it, how do you impart into that kid your wisdom and keep them humble without them sort of overthinking the situation? Some people take a picture with the NBA player and you get said, "Oh man, you great, you elite," and they post it on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, whatever social media sites. So Jumaine Jones gave me the stamp of approval, and he said it. How can you keep that kid, give him the insight, but tell him how to get to the next level? Humble opinion, sir.
Well, I'm big in the mental health space, man, and I'm always big in keeping your head forward, because if you really doing all this for an applause, it's gonna be tough when somebody's booing. You know what I mean? So I was always that guy that I always fed off. I've never, anytime anybody said anything great about me, man, it went through one ear and came out the other. And anytime I heard anything that people doubted, I took that in because I wanted to use that to be able to fuel myself to be able to go in the gym and work harder. So I like to give kind of examples on, the way I took my path and never wanted to be. And I also was surrounded by the right people that protected me from a lot. My aunt, my mom, my high school coach. So I was surrounded by the right people to be able to support me in a way where I didn't have to go through a lot. And I also had strict parents that kept me, from hanging out a lot. So, that's very, very important. It goes back to, who you're around and your friends and stuff like that. But mentally, the game of basketball is 80% mental. And, if you're trying to make that certain level, there are steps to that. And it's just not only working hard. A lot of, you can have all the talent in the world and don't work hard. And then, you'll be the person back, being at the house and people asking you what happened. You know what I mean? And even that's tough to even handle. But if you got the talent and you're working hard, it doesn't stop there. It's a lot of other things and a lot of other steps that you got to take. Making the NBA is something, it's just not on the basketball court. It's off the basketball court. Like even today, people ask me like, Jumaine, you traveling all over the world. You're speaking here. You're doing camps there. You're doing this. You're doing that. But that's work ethic I built on the basketball court. And it just hadn't changed. That work ethic is still inside of me. And that was something that I built on the basketball court. So it's something that's worked for me throughout my lifetime. And I've been retired since 2015. And I still have that same work ethic and probably have more work ethic now, being that, I understand the fact that it's never been a punishment for hard work, only rewards. And that's all I seek.
Amen, sir. You can tell that you're doing a great job, and I definitely appreciate what you're doing. So we're gonna keep it moving. And we want people to know. Coach Champagne, big question for yourself. When we did our interview before, you said that the WNBA was a possibility. And it was a possibility. And again, these are some things where we don't always hear the stories of people that were this close, a smidge, a centimeter from getting to the next level and looking where the game is today. Do you ever ask yourself, should I have been born in 2012 or 2009 or something to where I am now, if I knew where I was back, say, 2006, and you're the class of 2024 coming in, graduating. You're graduating this year and said, I was born in 2006. Do you see that getting there, or I guess for yourself, are you happy for where you are, or do you feel there's some things that you're telling others not to make those same mistakes so that they don't fall in some of the pitfalls you see most people, in your humble opinion?
I think that number one, I'm where I'm supposed to be. You can never question God on that destiny. So being one of those people that are able to teach and lead and, mentor, that's my passion. So I know the mistakes that I've made during my era and some things I couldn't prevent. When you're playing hard, you're practicing hard, whatever, we can't prevent certain injuries, especially if it happens. But I think that being able to talk to the young ladies these days and seeing how the game has changed so much, I think that being able to mentor them is most important because of the fact that, yeah, we had, certain things back then and some things were more challenging for us. Women's basketball wasn't getting as much attention, but we were getting the attention. But the main thing is today's generation needs to understand the principles of character, work ethic, just going out there and having goals. and I'm passionate about teaching about goals and reaching those goals because I think we need that now. We need leaders out here that are going to mentor these kids into the right direction to help them prevent making those same mistakes that we probably made back then. So I think where I am right now in my life, I would never say I should have been born during this time, but I just think I understand the process a little bit more from the experiences in the past.
Absolutely. And I thank you for letting us know that. Nothing against, regretting the past, but I know a lot of times when we see certain things, we say, Lord, if it was given during our time, things be a little different, but always keep us humble. So I appreciate you letting us know that, Coach, and letting us know those situations. All right. Again, Coach Shawn, same question. We always ask ourselves, as coaches, you are mature in this game. But do you ever ask yourself, should I be a young 22-year-old coach, fresh out of college, graduated? Now I'm the head varsity coach of King Bay High School off the rip, and I've been given the keys to the city early, and I've been given the opportunity. And the reason why I ask that, you see a lot of young coaches, people are put in the right position where they've been given the keys different than others. And when they give them that keys, their success is different than somebody else who may have grinded it through. Maybe they've been assistant coach for a couple of years. Maybe they had to be on the scout squad. Maybe they did something else. And they finally were given the keys later on. And you always say something like, what shoulda, coulda, woulda. Looking over your high school coaching career, do you feel if you were given the keys earlier, would the outcome still be the same or be much different?
Nah, I'd probably get fired. Yeah. No, I spent, like yourself, I'm a veteran too. I spent 24 years in the Air Force, working with getting my degree, learning. I did a lot with Armed Forces basketball, Air Force basketball, and just me maturing in that time, and then coming out and coaching high school basketball as an assistant. There were several times where I thought I was possibly ready, but I realized, I sat in on interview boards for coaches that I was gonna be working for, and I soon realized that I wasn't ready. So I'm kind of like where Coach Champagne said, and I'm where I'm supposed to be, and I'm not gonna doubt God's timing, because when it was my time, I was given the keys, and I think that actually helped us in our program and everything else, because I know how it is to be an assistant coach. I know how it is to be a B team coach. I know how it is to be a head coach, and the 70 hats that you wear as far as a mentor, a teacher, a supply person, a cook, a maid, all the things you got to be if you want a successful program to serve these kids, a disciplinarian. So now I probably would have got fired, and a lot of time, I don't say that badly, but it probably would have taught me a little bit more, because a lot of times it helps you when you do that. But no, I think that's one of the things that makes us better. My experiences and going from starting from the beginning and not giving the keys too early, because at one point in my life, I probably wasn't the best person to give the keys to begin with, So, but yeah, it's definitely been a journey, and I think that journey has taught me a lot of things about this and about people in general, and about leading a program. So, yeah, I think I'm right where I'm supposed to be. So,
Amen, Coach. Amen. The Bible always talks about, for instance, there's a time and a season for everything. A time to sow. There's all about prayer, and you can tell humility. And from one veteran to the other, who have done this I didn't do 24, did almost 15. Got my time and put it in. We can tell that we are part of an elite company of
Yeah.
band of brothers and sisters who fought for this country to make it a better place, but also who are trying to make pathways for the young people without trying to always toot the horn, but always
Yeah.
stay humble. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, Coach. If I was given keys to the city early, I probably would have been fired too. Probably fired. So like, okay, so we always know. God knows, like the younger version of us would have been like, nah, I'd have got really fired, especially my young,
Yeah.
fresh
Yeah.
PFC private days. Like, no, that would have, I'd have been arrested for that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Mr. Jones, Mr. Jumaine Jones. I know if you can hear me, we wanted to see if we can get him for one more, but I think he may be busy at this moment. Oh, there he goes. All right. So I know he's in the barber chair. So again, when we're going over your actual high school stats, collegiate stats, if that were to happen in today's game, like I mentioned, your position and how you were told to play has evolved, it's totally changed. Do you ever say to yourself, has ever crossed your mind, should I have been coming into the NBA later on, and God, why you make me play now instead of mean other people? Because when you came in, you had the up and coming Tim Duncans. The Kobe Bryant was just finding himself. The Allen Iverson hadn't hit the scene yet. LeBron James came a little bit later in the game. Tracy McGrady was hadn't really found himself because he's fresh out of high school, and Toronto wasn't really using him like that. Vince Carter was always getting himself evolved. And we know the Hakeem Olajuwons, you had the Knicks, you had a lot of aggressive guys coming in. Do you feel that you should have got in later, or are you comfortable and happy with the life that God has given you now?
Well, I'm not gonna say what they said. I tell you, I called my mom when I was seeing all these contracts, man, and I say, Mom, I'm so mad at you. She's like, what's wrong? What did I do, baby? I say, man, you should have had me later. And she was going on about like, man, you'll get out of here. But no, no, I don't have any regrets, man. I had a great career, 8 years in the NBA and 8 years overseas, where I really, really enjoyed that experience. To be able to finally get back to, being the guy. I was a person that kind of made a lot of decisions on who's coming in, what kind of guys they recruited, and to win 3 championships over there. And to be able to get the experience, different countries every week, man, filling up 3 passports. Throughout that time, man, that experience, people pray for that, and that's just something that, I predicate to, my hard work and being able to, travel the world, just because I invested my time and, had the discipline to be able to put that work in. But I have no regrets with my career to be, especially 8 years in the league and 8 overseas, 16 years to be, inducted into the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? After my freshman year, to be able to be starting in the NBA Finals, to be able to play for 3 great organizations in the Boston Celtics, the Lakers, and the 76ers, and also the Phoenix Suns, to be able to play with some of the, with the greatest coaches, Larry Brown and Rudy Tomjanovich, to go to training camp with Phil Jackson, I wouldn't change any of that for anything. And just those experiences really give me everything I need and the tools that I need to be able to go out and speak with the youth that we serve today.
Amen. And I keep you in prayer. I stay humble for me and for those that are watching. Yes, I am a big time Laker fan. So definitely, I'm glad when he put on purple and gold. Didn't like it when he put on Boston, and definitely didn't like him in 2001. I'm going to admit it. I know I wouldn't say it like, tall in his face, like some of the fans, they be talking big time, and y'all don't understand. Like, he is tall. Ain't no like, oh, I'm gonna walk. No, he's tall. But I'm like David now. Goliath will go, but it's all good in love. See, like I said, y'all getting serious. Like, some of y'all fans get all deep. I like to go so I get that backseat pass, get to meet the people. See, the Logan Power Show, we nationwide world. I meet some great folks. So I want you all who are watching us to understand this. Again, June 3rd and 4th, get in contact. Again, Coach Champagne, Coach McKeen, again, Mr. Jumaine Jones. These are people that want to make a difference in the low country. We have a youth that needs people that want to make it. I guarantee, ladies and gentlemen, these people will help you get to the next level. They're not trying to bombard you with these stories of shoulda, coulda, woulda. They all have a track record of success. And I never want nobody thinking that it can't happen. But you got to stay humble. And humility starts in the heart. And you're seeing humble people. And I'm humble enough to say, hey, I'm glad I'm in a good company of good people that, hey, it's all about, I know I may not be great in this area, but I know who to call on when I get in trouble. Final thoughts, Coach Champagne, on what you want to see happen on next month.
I want to see our community come together, bring the kids out, let them come out and experience, working out with one of the greatest NBA veterans who has an experience that, some of us, we dream of. So come out and, check us out. Cane Bay High School, June 3rd and 4th from 1 to 4. Listen, get your kids out, give them an experience of a lifetime, and let them understand the importance not only of just basketball or sports, but character and importance of addressing mental health. That's one thing we always want to emphasize, how important it is to address our mental health when we're playing sports. So hope to see you there. Come out and support us.
Absolutely. We come out support. Again, it's the time we got to support one another. I love y'all. This is Calvin, the Logan Power Show, nationwide, worldwide. We love you. See you soon.
Logan Power Show. Inspirational and motivational. It's the Logan Power Show. Informational to help you grow. Logan Power Show.